Hi guys, welcome back to episode 7 of Rookies on Rookies. I'm Amelia.
And I'm Grace.
And today we're going to be talking about rental arbitrage.
And before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course follow us on Instagram, Amelia Jo REI and Grace.investing. Okay, so Amelia, what is rental arbitrage?
So rental arbitrage is basically a fancy term for subletting. It's essentially where someone, in this example me, approaches a landlord and asks to rent their apartment or house with plans to turn around and sublet it out. You can either furnish it and sublet it, or if it's really under market rent, you can just rent it vacant. But we're going to be discussing furnishing a unit and renting it back out.
Okay, so second question you probably get with this situation is how do you run the numbers when you're not owning the property but subletting it?
It's very similar to how you would run the numbers for a rental property. You need to take what your monthly rental amount is, how much utilities, internet, any extras are going to be. And then you need to do research in your market on how much you can get for a furnished unit. And you can do this by looking on Furnish Finder, Airbnb, VRBO, any of those websites. And then you also need to figure in how much it's going to cost for you to furnish the unit. So it's not an exact science on how much furnishings cost, but if you just do a little bit of research and dig into how much things are, you can get a pretty good idea.
A quick tip on furnishing things. Amelia and I have both done some travel nursing rentals, and we've spent between $2,000 and $3,000 with 1 bed, 1 bath, and 2 bed, 1 bath. So that's a good ballpark to start with. Okay, can you share the actual numbers from the arbitrage unit that you're doing right now?
So I just got finished with my very first rental arbitrage, got it furnished and rented out. I am currently renting it for $1,700 a month. My all-in cost per month are $1,100. That includes my rent, utilities, Wi-Fi, parking, all of that. So I'm cash flowing about $600 a month on that unit. It's rented out for 13 weeks to a traveling nurse right now, and it costs me about $1,500 to furnish it. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, and I found a lot of the furnishings on Facebook Marketplace, which helps keep costs low.
And then also with arbitrage, you don't have to even do maintenance or save really for repairs or CapEx because that's all on your landlord, right?
Absolutely. That's the biggest benefit to me is it's allowing me to continue to scale, but not bring on a lot of additional workload. So the maintenance manager at the apartment's in charge of anything that breaks. And I love that. The con to this is obviously I don't own the property, so I'm not building any equity in this property, but I can't turn down $600 a month in cash flow. So I love this strategy, especially if you don't have a lot of money to get started, might be worth looking into.
Yep, because all in your initial costs were only a few $1,000s to get rolling and gain that $600 cash flow pretty much right off the bat.
Absolutely. Yep. It's perfect for beginners to test the waters and get started with pretty low risk.
Okay, so I've been saving this question for you. What did that conversation look like with the landlord? Did you call them, Facebook Marketplace, and then how do you frame it as a pro for them?
So I definitely recommend being open and honest. I would never say that you should lie about doing this. Definitely make sure the landlord knows what you're up to. So when I was looking for apartments, I saw a few listed that were vacant. So I thought, maybe this person would be open to me subletting their unit because nobody likes vacant units, right? I actually just called the property manager up. I said, I'm a local real estate investor that houses traveling nurses and I'm looking to add a few units to my portfolio. Is this something that you would be open to? And they were definitely open to it. They said they actually had a few traveling nurses already living at the property, so they were aware of kind of what that whole situation was. We signed a lease. There was nothing in the lease that said subletting wasn't allowed. And
you signed all of this in your personal name. Did you have to do like the full application as the investor?
Yes, I did have to go through the full application process, pay to apply, background check, eviction check, all of that. I do have the lease in my personal name, but I'm going to be getting it switched into an LLC, just for tax purposes, tracking things.
Okay, so clearly that's $600 cash flow, feels really good in your pocket. What is your plan going forward?
So my plan is I did sign a year-long lease, so I plan to keep this unit, continue renting it out to most likely traveling nurses, and possibly sign a few more units at that same apartment complex because the need is there and I already have a relationship built. So that's my plan right now. If it doesn't work out and I can't find a traveling nurse, I can always throw it on Airbnb or
give it to a long-term rental.
Or just, rent it out long-term to somebody. So, okay, Grace, so why don't you give us some tips and tricks on how you can set up rental arbitrage?
Absolutely. So number one, make sure that your landlord absolutely knows what you're up to and you have permission to sublet the property. Number two, try to find a place where utilities are included in the rent so that you don't have to mess with that. Number three, remember, you don't have to pay for CapEx, repairs, and maintenance, so keep that in mind when you're running your numbers. Number four, also when you're running your numbers, know that you need to have a little bit more of a margin than a long-term rental because you're not gaining any equity. You're only getting cash flow. And number five, if you're gonna furnish it, use things from around the house or Facebook Marketplace to save money and keep your initial investment low. All right, thanks for tuning in. We hope you learned a ton about rental arbitrage. If you have any questions, leave them below.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and follow us on Instagram, Amelia Jo REI and Grace.investing, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.